Welcome back for the third period of action. Live from Joe Louis Arena, I'm Leo Blavin alongside Eli Sherman. You're listening in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan hockey. 2-2 after 2 between Michigan and Minnesota in this Big Ten tournament title game. Both teams fighting for a berth in the NCAA tournament. Eli, your thoughts on after 2 periods of action as we're about set to get underway?
Well, I think this game really has been played a lot on special teams, and that's going to be a key going forward. Michigan and Minnesota each have spent a total of 8 minutes in the box so far this game, and I think whoever can limit the mistakes, limit those stupid penalties, because so far I think all except maybe one of the penalties was just absolutely silly by each team, because those penalties in a deciding third period like this for the championship game, those can make the difference, and you want to stay out of the box as much as possible.
Third period underway as Kyle Rao wins the faceoff for Minnesota at center ice. Michael Downing chases it down behind his own net for Michigan, and it's cleared out of the zone. JT Compher giving chase, but there for Minnesota is Jake Bischoff. Puck batted around and comes out of play into the Michigan bench, so the faceoff will come in the neutral zone. 16 seconds elapsed here in the third.
And I think as far as Michigan goes, one of the big keys for this period is going to be, what is Zach Hyman going to do? He already has a goal and assist in this game. Can he continue to be a dominating presence both as a leader and as a player?
Andrew Kopp wins the faceoff as Michael Downing shovels it into the zone. However, Brennan Serville couldn't keep it there. So Minnesota will float it up from center ice and elect to get a change. 30 seconds into the third period. Andrew Kopp skates across center ice, trying to do it all by himself, goes backhand with one hand. Wilcox made the save, centering attempt, but Compher's shot was deflected wide. Good pressure from Michigan here early in this 2-2 ballgame. Shea, he fires it across to Camerata. Now skating on to it is Collins. Minnesota rattles it around the end boards, and they'll have to skate down and chase it down in front of their own net with Brady Shea. Shea and Collins. Now Larkin, his forecheck pressure. He gets taken down, though, by Sam Warning, giving the puck back to the Golden Gophers.
Larkin got up slowly there. Looks a little bit hurt as he goes to the bench.
Larkin skates off gingerly as the Wolverines get a change. Werenski skating up from behind his own net. Booney Evans sends it across ice pass to Zach Hyman, who's dispossessed, and Minnesota gets back possession with Justin Kloos. Puck given right back to Michigan as these two teams ping-pong the puck, and offsides, an easy call there as Justin Kloos got a bit too antsy, shoving across the blue line. So face-off to come in the neutral zone with 18-16 left to go in the third period. 2-2 the score.
Looks like the puck might actually come into the Minnesota defensive zone. That puck was passed from Minnesota's side of the center ice line, so Michigan's going to benefit from both a change and the offensive zone. Minnesota having to keep their same guys on the ice, equivalent to an icing.
So the two-line pass means the face-off to come in the left wing circle of the Minnesota defensive zone. Boo Nieves to face off against Justin Kloos. Nieves wins the draw. Downing tried to fire a shot and took a deflection. Kept in the zone, though, by Nieves. Nieves plays it behind the net to Dexter Danks. Danks dispossessed of the puck by Michael Brodzinski, but Nieves gets it back to Motte, who fires a shot, but it's deflected in front of the net. Now Dexter Danks gets taken down by Kloos. Centering attempt behind the net goes directly to Ben Marshall for Minnesota as the Golden Gophers clear it as Camerata dumps it and chases, so Minnesota can get a change. Downing upended behind his own net. Tyler Motte there for the Wolverines with the puck. Motte trying to skate ahead with it. Camerata throws it back into the zone so he can get a change. Motte throws it up along the side boards, but unable to clear it so far are the Wolverines. Brennan Serville tries his luck as finally Dexter Danks throws it out of the zone, so Michigan can get some fresh legs onto the ice. A near turnover as Andrew Kopp skates onto it across to Kyle. Kyle breakaway. Tried to go blocker side, but he missed the netting. Good pressure from Alex Kyle. Wolverines will reset things in the neutral zone, but Alex Kyle nearly had the third goal of the game and nearly gave Michigan a lead. 17 minutes left to play in the third period from this Big Ten tournament title game at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Wolverines and Gophers. battling for Big Ten supremacy. Alex Kyle skating ahead. Gains the zone for Michigan. Fires it across to Lohan. Lohan back to Larkin, and now JT Compher skates onto it. Compher dispossessed as Minnesota will skate ahead. 3-on-3. Minnesota gains the zone. Backhand fired in. Racine, I'm not sure, saw it. Screen was set by Hudson Fashing, but Racine finds it at the last moment, covers it up. Face-off to come in the Michigan defensive zone with 16:28 left to go in the third. 2-2 the score.
Yeah, Fashing and Werenski were just kind of a brick wall right in front of Racine. Racine had his pad down, and he was lucky that even though that thing squirted through, it hit his pad and didn't get too far away from him. He was able to cover it up. Michigan has looked a little bit tired here. These past couple exchanges could play a key role.
Minnesota wins the draw, but Michigan gets the puck back, and as Dylan Larkin and Justin Selman try to clear it from danger, Zach Hyman skates onto it, but Minnesota plays it right back into the zone. Falls conveniently to Sam Warning, who fires a shot, but it's deflected wide. And another quick whistle. I believe the puck was played with a high stick, so faceoff will come in the neutral zone. Is slow to get up is Andrew Sinelli.
Sinelli favoring that right leg. So, I mentioned the fatigue from Michigan. They've played one extra day compared to Minnesota. Minnesota just played yesterday against Ohio State, won handily. Michigan having to fight in a pit, a dogfight yesterday against Michigan State, and also having to beat up on Wisconsin in that game Friday night.
Puck goes from Minnesota zone. They skate left to right. Skating up ahead, chasing the puck for Minnesota is Camerata. Centering attempt gets kicked out by Downing for Michigan. Another shot fired in, but it's deflected well wide as now Michigan tries to push the pace. Tyler Motte flicks one in. Nieves gives chase and gains the zone for the Wolverines. Tried to play it back to Dexter Danks, who's dispossessed, as now Minnesota comes forward. Ben Marshall, the defenseman, skating ahead with it. Battle along the boards. Ledaeri also there for Minnesota. Now Michigan. Skating ahead, Dexter Danks by himself will simply try to get a clean shot off. Fired it across the goal mound as Dexter Danks got taken down after the shot. He'll skate off the ice. Rest of the Wolverines, fresh legs, trying to play it ahead, but it's a turnover. Now Minnesota has an opportunity for a 3-on-2. Hudson Fashing. Centering attempt, but it's cleared out momentarily. Now another shot fired in by Mike Riley, still loose, and now the Wolverines will skate away with it. Andrew Kopp, right man at the right time, in the right place. Alex Kyle skates in. Gains the zone for Michigan. Tried to center it across, went over the top of the Minnesota defenseman. Leon Brisdet with a good hip check. JT Compher tries to regain the zone. His entry pass allows Larkin to give chase as well as Justin Selman. Now Werenski skates on, fires a wrister into the glove of Wilcox, who makes the save. Just his 19th of the game. 19 shots for the Wolverines, 26 for Minnesota. Deadlocked at 2 here with 14:11 left to play in the third period of this Big Ten tournament championship game.
And again, on the fatigue, I think Michigan's still playing with the same aggressiveness. They know what's at stake here. They know that in a tie game, they gotta play hard and try and get shots on goal, try and get scoring opportunities, but they're just not there, in terms of pep. They've been playing slow on pucks, and you can really see it in the legs. They aren't as quick to the puck, and they're basically letting Minnesota walk around them at will in terms of puck possession situations.
Obviously, a lot at stake for both sides here. A Big Ten tournament championship crown at stake, as well as a berth in the NCAA tournament, which Minnesota likely in, regardless of outcome tonight. Michigan season would come to an end if they don't come away with the victory here at the Joe. Face-off to come in the left wing circle of the Minnesota defensive zone with 14:11 left to go in the third period. Deadlocked at 2 apiece. All 4 goals from both sides coming in the second period of this game. Goal scorers Alex Kyle, Zach Hyman for Michigan, Kyle Rao, Travis Boyd for Minnesota. Face-off win for the Wolverines, but a quick whistle, and rather than just giving Michigan the face-off win, they will kick Travis Boyd out of the face-off circle. Travis Boyd will exit. Seth Ambrose will enter to face off against Dylan Larkin. And this time Ambrose wins the face-off for Minnesota. Now Brady Shea skating ahead, gains the zone for Minnesota. Shea circling the Michigan zone. Played it to Sam Warning, who floated a shot in. Now Collins keeping it in the zone. Werenski back there. Warning plays it to Seth Ambrose. Ambrose taken down by Michael Downing. Ambrose trying to play the puck from the ground with no success as Hyman clears it away for Michigan as they finally clear the zone. Larkin skating ahead with speed, dumps it. Hyman will give chase. Wilcox playing it behind his own net to Collins. Collins ahead to Boyd. Boyd floats a cross-ice path the length of the ice. So icing will be called. Face-off to come in the left wing circle of the Michigan offensive zone with 13:18 left to go in the third period. You're listening to WCBN's sports coverage of the Big Ten Tournament Championship game from Joe Louis Arena. Leo Blavin alongside Eli Sherman for this 2-2 thriller.
This could be a big opportunity for Michigan. Minnesota has had a long change, especially for the defensemen. They're going to need a quick clear and try and get new legs on the ice.
Michigan wins the faceoff as Cutler Martin fires a shot in the crease. A few bodies tangled up in the crease as Motte and Shea got tangled up. Minnesota will get that much needed clear. And change. Wholesale line change for the Golden Gophers as Kyle Lohan settles things down behind his own net for the Wolverines. Lohan ahead to Motte. Dispossessed, and they'll bat it around the neutral zone. Nieves will settle things down back to Martin in their own zone. Now Lohan. Lohan nearly dispossessed. Plays it low to Martin. Tony Calderon tried to clear it. Unable to do so, but does just enough so Michigan can get some fresh bodies into action. Minnesota cutting back the other way, and an undercut hit means Michigan will go on the penalty kill as just too physical, and Minnesota had another odd man break opportunity, and it looks like Tony Calderon, a member of the fourth line, the freshman from Trenton, Michigan, will go to the box for 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that's, again, just a silly penalty. And, again, Michigan needs to limit those silly penalties here in this third period, the decisive period in the Big Ten Championship. And that's a penalty that coming from behind, getting under the play, and just tripping up the man is something that can be limited.
Justin Kloos is the one who drew the penalty as face-off win for Minnesota. A shot fired, quick deflection up into the netting. 1:56 still to go on the power play. 12:21 left to go in the third period of regulation with the score deadlocked at 2-2. Camerata keeps it in the zone for Minnesota off the face-off win. Plays it to Mike Riley. Camerata back to Riley. Riley fires one from the point. Took a deflection. Now Boyd with it. Boyd plays it back to Riley. To Camerata in the right wing circle. Camerata settles thing. Plays it behind the net to Boyd. Boyd settling things down. Back to Riley. Back to Boyd in the left wing circle. Centering across to Kyle Rao, but Rao couldn't get a clean stick on it. And now JT Compher gets it behind his own net and fires it to length of the ice. Michigan will get a change, as will the Golden Gophers. 1 minute left to go on this penalty kill for Michigan. Minnesota looking to regain the zone. Lohan, though, with the quick stick to clear it away. Minnesota just coming in a bit too quickly was Justin Kloos. He never had a clean handle on it. 45 seconds left to go on the Michigan penalty kill. Brady Shea will start things for Minnesota. Gets across center ice and dumps it in from there. Rattling around the end boards. Can Minnesota gain the zone? Lohan tried to clear it out, unable to do so. Brisdet fired a shot. Took a deflection up high. Now it's Brodzinski. To Shea. Brodzinski at the point. Playing it down low. Ambrose had an opportunity, but got hit and his shot poked away. Michigan trying desperately to clear the zone, unable to do so. And now a odd man break, and a goal is scored for Minnesota. Justin Kloos finishes it on the right side, and the Golden Gophers take a 3-2 lead with a power play goal. Just 6 seconds left to go in the man advantage, and Minnesota capitalizes to take a 3-2 lead.
And Michigan was that close to being able to kill that one off. Minnesota just did a really nice job of threading the puck back and forth, really spreading Michigan's defense out and opening up the slot to get that shot in. Just going underneath the outstretched glove of Racine. Racine couldn't get back in time, was screened a little bit by, looked like Ambrose there for the Gophers. Was Ambrose indeed. And Racine didn't see it in time to be able to get the stop.
Justin Kloos with the big goal. Is now the top 3 centermen for Minnesota have all scored. Offside call, icing call rather, against Michigan. So a face-off to come in the Minnesota zone with 10:22 left to go in the third period. It's the Golden Gophers 3, Michigan 2. Again, Michigan fighting for their hockey lives, as this would be the end of the road for the Maize and Blue if they can't come away with a victory in this Big Ten Tournament championship game. From the Joe, Travis Boyd facing off with Dylan Larkin. Face-off win for the Maize and Blue. Hyman to Larkin. Michigan trying to get it out of their own zone. They'll do just that. Larkin skating ahead with speed. Far boards, Dylan Larkin firing a shot in, but it's blocked by Collins before it gets to Wilcox, but Cutler Martin keeps it in the zone. Martin skating into the slot, fires a shot, but Wilcox makes the save. Still loose puck, though, as Wilcox trying to get to his feet. Shot fired in. Wilcox doesn't know where it is. Fortunately for him, it's between his leg pads. Is a huge break for Minnesota. Wilcox didn't know where the puck was. He was just at the right place at the right time, and with 9:54, there's a stoppage in the action here in the third period. Minnesota on top 3-2.
And, you know, I got to compliment Michigan right there. They let in a power play goal, and Minnesota takes the lead in the deciding third period, and right away they come back with a lot more energy than they've been playing with basically the entire third period. 2 really nice scoring chances there. And, you know, what can you say when you're facing off against one of the best goaltenders in the country and Adam Wilcox? He's able to stand strong. But that's what you got to do. You got to fire the shots and keep on those offensive opportunities, keep up the pressure, because otherwise you're just going to let Minnesota play their game, play their offensive game, and more importantly, play their defensive game, be able to keep the puck out of their zone. The possession battle has been massively in Minnesota's favor all night, and Michigan needs to turn that around here in these last 10 minutes if they want to get the tying goal and potentially take the lead.
9:54 left to go in the third period. 3-2 the score in favor of the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Big Ten regular season champs looking to complete a clean sweep of the conference and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Michigan looking to keep their season alive. Again, they need a win just to keep on playing hockey. Andrew Kopp to face off against Kyle Rao. Still waiting to get back to action between these two sides. Face-off to come in the right wing circle of the Minnesota zone. Face-off win for the Wolverines. JT Compher centering it across, but Alex Kyle couldn't get his stick on it. And now Minnesota will clear it. Brennan Servo skates onto it behind his own net. Pressured by Hudson Fashion. And a turnover, near disaster, but it was sent wide. As Leon Brisdet nearly had the 4th goal of the game and nearly gave Minnesota a crucial cushion. Instead, Minnesota with a sloppy pass cleared out of their zone so Michigan can get fresh legs on the defensive end of the ice. Kyle Rao skates ahead for Minnesota. Rao trying to do it all by himself, getting a shot off. Kick save made by Racine, and now Michigan will come back the other way on the close side of the boards. Dispossessed are the Wolverines, and now Minnesota skating ahead. Camerata tried to clear it, unable to do so. JT Compher giving chase, but it's poked out of the zone. Dexter Danks trying to reset things. Puck given back to Minnesota, and Camerata skating on with speed. settles things down in the right wing circle, fires one in, and it's awkwardly caught by Racine. 8:46 left to go in the third period. Minnesota on top 3-2. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of the Big Ten Tournament Championship game.
Nice save there by Racine coming to the near side. Just getting his glove right under his armpit. That's kind of a tough save to make, getting your elbow tucked in and keeping the puck from going underneath your arm.
Face-off win for Michigan as they clear it out of their zone. Seth Ambrose, though, with it for Minnesota, firing a shot. Deflected wide. And now Michigan trying to get just solid possession time with the puck. Tyler Motte will do just that. Skating up ahead. He's hip-checked into the boards, giving the puck back to Minnesota. They'll calmly give it back, though, as Cutler Martin skates across center ice. Leads it to Dexter Danks, who fires a shot, which was deflected well wide of the net. Now Letty Airy skating ahead for Minnesota. Plays it ahead to Camerata. And Minnesota will simply elect to dump it into the Michigan zone and get a change. 3-2 the score, 8 minutes left to go in this Big Ten Tournament Championship game. Minnesota on top. Larkin skating into the zone for Michigan. Larkin, no angle, fires a shot into the chest of Wilcox. 7:52 left to go in the third. Face-off to come in the left wing circle of the Minnesota defensive zone.
And Larkin, one of the best young goal scorers on this team, he has by far the most energy right now. He could be the difference for the Wolverines if they're going to score that equalizer. He's had the most energy every time he has the puck. He looks like an NHL skater going down there with his speed compared to the rest of the Michigan offense.
Face-off draw one for Minnesota. Brady Shea clears it out of the zone, and then a shot floated back in. Wilcox gloves it and plays it down to his defenseman, Ryan Collins. Minnesota trying their luck, skating right to left, Travis Boyd. He plays it ahead to Sam Warning. Back to Boyd. Played behind the net, Michael Downing there for Michigan. He plays it up ahead to Justin Salmon. How does Michigan respond, trailing 3-2, needing a big goal? Zach Hyman with the puck behind the Minnesota net. He battles along the boards with Brady Shea. Puck goes out to Lohan. Lohan firing one off the boards. Brady Shea played it well. Getting used to this Joe Louis Arena boards situation. 7 minutes left to play in the third. Michigan down 3-2. Puck cleared out. Alex Kyle plays it just out of the zone and then sent right back in by Hudson Fashing. Michigan playing ahead. JT Compher trying to gain the zone, unable to do so. Werenski forced to skate back and play it all the way behind Michigan's net. Werenski skating ahead. Plays it to JT Compher. Plays it across to Kyle. Kyle just not able to get a good handle on it. Kyle Rao poking it away. Michigan just trying to hang on. Down 3-2, seemingly out of gas, it appears at the moment, with still 6 minutes and change left to go. The crowd trying to urge them on instead of steal. Gives the puck back to Minnesota. Justin Kloos with it. He's upended, though, as 4 Wolverines get in his way, not allowing him to get a clean shot off, but Minnesota still able to keep the zone as the crowd trying to urge the Wolverines on. Michigan just not playing with a lot of life right now, not playing good hockey.
Yeah, Michigan, I think at this point, needs to hope for a penalty or something to give them a little bit of that extra advantage.
Sinelli gains the zone with good forecheck pressure, surrounded by gold shirts, though, as the gold shirts eventually win the battle. Brodzinski clears it away. 5:40 left to go in the third period. Michigan down 3-2 in this Big Ten Tournament title game. Michael Downing skates ahead. Brennan Serville pokes it in, but puck goes back to Minnesota. Good wraparound check by Travis Lynch, though. Gives the puck back to Michigan. Motte fired a shot, easily rejected by Wilcox. And now 3-on-2 coming back the other way is a huge hit delivered by Downing. Shot coming back the other way. Save made, and maybe that'll be the big blow Michigan needs to get life back into them. Tyler Motte coming back the other way. Tried the short sider. Wilcox covers it up. Face-off to come in the Minnesota defensive zone, but that huge hit could be enough just to get Michigan back into this game with 5:05 left to go. Wolverines trailing 3-2.
Yeah, that was a great hip check by Downing. Looked a little bit like Nicholas Cronwall down there on the Joe Louis Arena ice here for the Wolverines. Wolverines just need to get something going. They're tired legs, but maybe the adrenaline of these last 5 minutes trying to get the game-tying goal will be enough to power them forward get them a few more scoring opportunities, get something in the net.
Michigan's best scoring line on the ice right now is Larkin wins the draw. Michigan just trying to keep the puck in the zone right now. Larkin plays it back to Selman. Selman firing a shot, covered up by Wilcox. Again, another face-off to come in the same spot with 4:50 left to go in the third. Minnesota on top 3-2.
Now, what I think is interesting there from Selman was, he looked around. He had plenty of time to go. Could have tried to make a pass and instead just fired one on net. At this point, that might be the better idea because it gets you the benefit of a change, and it guarantees that the puck will at least stay in the zone for a moment longer rather than trying to keep some passes going and work with the guys you got on the ice.
Minnesota scored first, then Michigan responded with 2 goals, and 2-goal response from Minnesota leaves the Gophers on top 3-2. You talked about Michigan maybe needing a penalty. If they don't get one, do you think this is Minnesota's game to lose at this point? Because it doesn't look like Michigan's playing with a lot of life.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think even if Michigan were to pull the net for the extra attacker, that might not give them the jump they need. I would expect Red Berenson to pull a little bit earlier tonight than he would in a regular season game, obviously with so much on the line. Expect to see Racine come out maybe as early as 3 minutes to go, if not earlier.
4:50 left to go in the third period. Minnesota on top 3-2. Face-off to come in the right wing circle off this media timeout. It'll be Travis Boyd and Dylan Larkin, the fabulous freshman for Michigan. Face-off win for the Golden Gophers, a big face-off win. Ambrose plays it ahead to center ice. However, dispossessed, and now Darren Larkin skates in to the Michigan zone, or in the Michigan zone. Tried a centering attempt. It goes out to Werenski, whose shot is blocked, and now skating ahead is Sam Warning, who was the man to block the shot himself, and now Minnesota will simply get a change.
Kind of a silly shot there by Werenski. He had about 10 guys standing in front of him in the slot.
Larkin gains the zone, plays it ahead to Zach Hyman. Hyman trying to skate in. Hyman still holding on to the puck. Tries to get inside. Trying to go to the wraparound. Hyman keeping possession now. Plays it to Justin Selman. Selman battling for the loose puck. Now Brennan Serville gets onto it for Michigan. Still in the Minnesota zone. Brennan Serville. Plays it to Selman. Selman dumps it back to Larkin, who's upended by Riley. Michigan still battling for the puck behind the net. Zach Hyman now. Brisdet comes away with it for Minnesota, but he checked off of it by Larkin. Larkin across to Kyle, one-timer into the glove of Adam Wilcox. A huge save with 3:36 left to go in the third period. Michigan starting to show some life, trailing 3-2. Shots are getting close to even now. 31 in favor of Minnesota, 25 in favor of Michigan.
Yeah, in these past couple of shifts, the guys from Michigan have basically just been riddling shots off of Adam Wilcox, and at the end of every shift, the guys kind of just limp to the bench to get a few extra seconds of rest.
Face-off win for Minnesota in their own zone, a big face-off win. Golden Gophers will be able to clear it. However, it goes directly into the bench area. So another stoppage with 3:27 left to go in the third. Still some discussion. Now it looks like the faceoff will, in fact, come in the Minnesota defensive zone again, the right wing circle. It'll be Andrew Kopp in for the draw for Michigan.
Primarily the top two lines these last 5 minutes or so as well. Kind of surprising that we don't see the third and fourth line just to get these guys a couple
face-off
extra
win.
Seconds of rest.
Face-off win for Michigan. Downing pokes it behind the net. Andrew Kopp is there. Minnesota trying to clear it. It went off a referee skate, so JT Compher gets to it. Fortunate bounce for Michigan. Compher tried to center it. Now Kyle on the far boards. Kyle bodied up by Brodzinski. Brennan Serville will fire one in. Easily handled by Wilcox, and Minnesota still trying to clear it. Goes off a Michigan player. Brennan Serville up into the air. Now Michigan and Minnesota will both look to get fresh sets of legs on the ice. Downing skates up across center ice. 2:45 left to go in the game as a turnover allows Hudson Fasching to dump it and get himself off the ice for a change. Travis Boyd with the puck for Minnesota, skating by Michigan's net. In no hurry, he gets taken down, no call. A shot fired with traffic in front of the net, but it's denied, and battle along the boards. Finally, Travis Lynch comes away with it for Michigan, and it's cleared out of the zone. Michigan still looking to get a change. Downing will skate off the ice. Minnesota will take a change as well by dumping it. And offside the call. So face-off to come in the neutral zone with 2:10 left to play in the third period. Score 3 for Minnesota, 2 for Michigan.
Center ice face-off here, 2:10 remaining. And don't expect it to be too much longer before Red Berenson pulls Steve Racine to give Michigan that extra attacker. Could be just as soon as Michigan's able to get the puck into the zone.
Michigan trying to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive, that they need to win this Big Ten tournament championship game or their season is over. Minnesota, the 1 seed, the Big Ten regular season champs, currently on top. Michigan with the puck. Tyler Motte plays it ahead to Booney Evans, who kicks it forward. Battle for the puck. Camerata comes away with it for Minnesota at center ice. He will dump it. Minnesota just electing to keep fresh bodies on the ice as frequently as possible. 1:40 left to play. Shouldn't be too much longer before Racine is pulled. Michigan skating forward with the puck. However, a turnover, the puck deflected off the official. Michigan gets it back. Selman just trying to play it forward. Minnesota will play it back. 1:25 left to go. Michigan down 3-2. Wolverines will settle things behind their own net. Werenski skating forward. Minnesota trying to hang on. Zone is gained by Michigan.
Racine goes off.
Racine off. Neutral ice as Minnesota floats a puck 3/4 of the ice. And
looks like a tripping might be coming up. Going down was Kopp.
It was not the referee who had his arm raised, so I believe it may just be offside. But
icing. Icing would be the call.
Icing could be the call as well, as a lengthy pass was thrown. Hudson Fashing was shaken up as he got taken down, chasing for that loose puck, and it appears Michigan will be taking their timeout. It might be Minnesota. Regardless, a timeout has been called as the faceoff to come in the right wing circle of the Minnesota zone. 1:03 left to go. What does Michigan have to do now with the extra attacker?
They're just going to have to keep firing shots and hope they can get something past Adam Wilcox. Looking at the replay here, it wasn't, in fact, a trip. It was that Kopp just bit the dust, blew a tire as he went down near the blue line. And Michigan just able to benefit that Fashing was a half step behind the puck. If he'd been a little bit closer, he would have been able to bury that one for the empty netter. In any case, 1:03 remaining. Michigan is going to have to just fire shots and hope that they can put something past Adam Wilcox. He's been strong all game. A penalty would actually help here, too, getting that 6-on-4.
The fans chanting, "Let's go Blue," trying to encourage their boys to even things up, down 3-2. 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go in the third period of this Big Ten Tournament Championship game. Michigan trying to keep their season alive. We can see by Minnesota's net, they already have the boxes of T-shirts and hats ready for these Minnesota players to celebrate at the conclusion of regulation. Michigan trying to delay that and flip the script, but they have just 1 minute, 3 seconds to do it, but they have an empty net and an extra attacker. Face off between Andrew Kopp and Kyle Rao, won by the Wolverines. Werenski keeps it in the zone, across to Larkin, up to Werenski, shot from the point, takes a deflection wide of the net. Compher keeps it in the zone. Tyler Motte, bodied up by Brady Shea as Minnesota tries to clear it. Werenski keeps it in the zone, however. Minnesota now will clear at center ice. Werenski plays off the boards to Compher. Compher tried to backhand it to Kopp. Kopp takes down the Minnesota skater to get the puck back for Michigan. 50 seconds left to go in the game. 3-2 the score right now in favor of Minnesota. Shot fired high, well over the net. Michigan just looking to gain the zone. Compher will do just that. Played it back. Nobody home for Michigan. Minnesota will throw it the length of the ice, and it goes into the net. A length of the ice goal seals things for Minnesota as the Golden Gophers are well on their way now to the Big Ten sweep as the regular season champs take a 4-2 lead with 21.7 seconds left to go in this Big Ten Tournament Championship game. The Michigan Maize and Blue faithful start to file out of the Joe as the Golden Gophers are on their way to the big dance.
And, Leo, I got to say, this was basically written last weekend when Michigan lost at home against Michigan State. If they had been able to win that game against the Spartans, they would be the 1 seed in this game. They would have played one less game in this Big Ten tournament. It would be Minnesota that would be playing with the heavy legs. Instead, Michigan just too tired, and that's what gave Minnesota that third goal in this third period, and that's what ended up giving Minnesota that fourth goal too, as Michigan had to empty out the net.
So Michigan's season will come to an end tonight at the Joe. There will be no NCAA tournament for Michigan for the third straight year. Face-off, won by Minnesota. Net is empty. 5 seconds left to go, though, so this game is all but over, and the clock hits 0. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are your Big Ten tournament champs. The final 4-2 in favor of the Golden Gophers. Michigan's season comes to an end in heartbreaking fashion here in Detroit as the Golden Gophers celebrate their sweep of the Big Ten regular season and tournament conference crowns.
And sweep is the right word for it. I think, Minnesota has been dominating the Big Ten these past 2 seasons, and they basically, coming down these last 2 months, Michigan stifled a little bit, and it started when Michigan was up in Minnesota, and Minnesota swept Michigan. And since then, Minnesota has just absolutely tore through the conference schedule. And, it's no wonder that they were going to be going to the NCAA tournament regardless of the result in this game. They are, quite honestly, the better team. And it's a shame for Michigan that their seniors are going to go home without having been to a tournament their last 3 seasons. But they did play a nice game, kept it within 1 goal until the end. Empty netters, most people won't count those in terms of the competitive score. And it was a great game by both teams. I think Michigan really did the best they could, given that they were playing their 3rd straight game. It's not easy to play 180 minutes in 3 days. And what can you say? It's been a great run for this team, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not Red Berenson will return for one final season next year. Has 1 year left on his contract.
Disappointing finish certainly for Michigan. Zach Hyman has played his last game in a maize and blue uniform, as well as several other seniors. And as you mentioned, their freshman year was their best year, their only year they made it to the NCAA tournament. So that will conclude our coverage of Michigan hockey this season as the Big Ten tournament comes to a close. Again, the final 4-2 in favor of the Golden Gophers, who sweep the Big Ten in both the regular season and conference, as the Golden Gophers have punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament and Michigan's season comes to a close. On behalf of Eli Sherman, I'm Leo Blavin. Good night and go blue.